Jesus more.
Some years ago, when I was still in the missions in Kenya, um, there was a time that we got really threatened by this terrorist group. And I remember I was preparing to go to bless some of the houses. And then I got a phone call from one of the sisters who was working with us. And she said that they had received a letter and there were rumors that the terrorists were to attack the parish house today. So that day. And meanwhile, I was in the outstation, I was not in the main parish. So when I heard about that, then she said, you have to prepare as soon as possible and come, and then we could vacate the place. And I had my things in that place, so I was thinking, oh God, what is going to happen to all the things that I have? I have no time to pack these things. I have no time to get ready. And so I was just thinking, what am I going to grab? Because at that moment I didn't have a car. I just had a motorbike. So I could get just very limited things. So I got my computer, I got my ATM card, I got my phone, and a few clothes. Those are the things I thought. The rest I said, okay, if something happens, if they decide to burn the house, that is fine. Then at least I have these things. These reflections were coming to me, especially when I thought about when I went through the gospel of today. And even daily, when I leave the house, what do I take with me? In that incident, I don't remember if I took my rosary, if I took my Bible. I don't really remember about that, but I know I took my computer, my ATM, I took my phone. And like daily, like I said, when we leave the house, what do we take with us that we feel is something that we need for wherever we are going to? I think most of the people who never forget their phones, they don't forget their ATM in case they have to buy something or they have to shop, and a few things. But in case something has to happen, there are things that we have to take that gives us some kind of security. This is what it is. I want to be secure. I don't want to be stuck. And what that says is, in fact, if you go to the bottom of that, what that says is that we don't really trust that God is going to provide everything. Really, that is it. I don't really trust that God is going to be there for me. When Jesus sent his apostles, it starts with saying that he gave them authority. So he was the source of everything. He gave them authority over everything, over demons. He gave them powers to heal, and he sends them with his own authority. And when that happened, he was not interested in their success. He was interested in making them to depend on him. That's why he said to them, don't take this, don't take money, don't take extra, don't take all those things, because those things make you secure. But I want you to be totally dependent on me. And that takes a lot of faith to do. All of us, including myself, it's not easy, especially when we have to move places, especially like missionaries now. At some points, they might ask me to leave the Philippines. What do I take with me? Do I go with this command? Take nothing with you. Do I go with that? Or I have my 2 big boxes waiting and a hand luggage in case I just try to fill it as much as possible before I leave. But that is important. I'm not saying that we should not do that. But how dependent are we on God? How much do we trust that He is going to be with us? Because He promised us that. Do not worry about what you are going to do. I'm going to be there with you. When Moses was commanded by God in the book of Exodus chapter 3, he said Moses was in Midian. He had nothing apart from his staff, looking after the sheep. And God appeared to him and said, Moses, I've heard the cry of my people. I want you to go to Egypt. And Moses said, no. I cannot do that. What do I have? I cannot even speak well. I'm not good in speech. And what did God say to him? And I think that is very important. In Exodus chapter 4, from 11 to 12. Moses was saying, no, I cannot do anything. And God said, who makes one person blind and another one to see? Who makes one person dumb and another one to speak? Is it not I? I said, then you go, because I will accompany you. I will accompany you. This staff that you have is a symbol of slavery. Remember, Moses had been sent out of Egypt. He escaped from Egypt to Midian, and he was employed as a shepherd. So that staff was a symbol of slavery, but God turns it into a symbol of authority through his own power, and said, through this staff you are going to lead my people out of Egypt. And if only we can trust in God, that even the weaknesses that we have, he's going to turn them into authority. He gives us authority over everything that we go with. And you see, this is really the secret. If only we can trust in God for everything. I remember one of the difficulties we have as priests or as missionaries is the fear of where you are going to be sent next. Does it have security? Am I going to find a car when I arrive? Are the people rich enough to be able to sustain my life? And things like that. And this is really going out of the gospel message, because we are trying to look for security for ourselves and we forget about God. This is what Jesus was trying to teach his apostles. You have to trust in me. Go with nothing. Go with my word. Go with my authority. And know, especially like it says in Matthew's Gospel chapter 28 verse 20, I will be with you until the end of time. It is not by your power, it's not your security, it's not your ATM that is going to help you in the mission. It's not even your phone that is going to give you security. Everything comes from God. Everything is going to go back to God. The source of our happiness, the source of our joy, the source of our peace, the source of the love that we are going to encounter in our missions, wherever we are, does not come from what we have. We must learn that it comes from God. And if only we can trust in him, then we'll be more happier. If only we can trust in him, then we would find joy and peace. If only we can trust, like he says in his letter to the Philippians chapter 4 verse 19, I will supply every one of your need according to his riches in Christ Jesus. He continues to supply it for us. He continues to provide for us all that we need, if only we can trust in him. Therefore, as we go through this Eucharistic celebration, we ask the intercession of Saint Agatha that we may let go in order to let God in. We'll be able to trust in God at all times.
Kiss us, mother, kiss your children. Bring God's blessings from above. With your mantle blue enfold us in your gentle holy love. See the darkness dissipating, hear the trumpet echoing, Satan's rage